God's covenant with Abram, chapter 15, Genesis. After this word of the Lord came to Abram in a vision. Do not be afraid, Abram. I am your shield, your very great reward. But Abram said, O sovereign Lord, what can you give me since I remain childless, and the one who will inherit my estate is Eliezer in Damascus? And Abram said, You have given me no children, no servant in my household will be my heir. Then the word of the Lord came to him, This man will not be your heir, but a son coming from your own body will be your heir. He took him outside and said, Look up at the heavens and count the stars. If indeed you can count them, then he said to them, So shall be your offspring be. Abram believed the Lord, and he credited him as righteousness. He said also, he also said to him, I am the Lord who out of brought you out of Ur and the Chaldeans to give you this land to take possession of it. So basically, I told you to kill some people so you could have this land. This is what God said. He's like, you owe me. I told you to kill them. But Abram said, O sovereign Lord, how can I know that I will gain possession of it? So the Lord said to him, Bring me a heifer, a goat, and a ram, each 3 years old, along with a dove and young pigeon. Abram brought all three to him, cut them in two, and arranged the halves opposite each other. The birds, however, he did not cut in half. Then birds of prey came down on the carcasses, but Abram drove them away. As the sun was setting, Abram fell into a deep sleep, and a thick, dreadful darkness came over him. Then the Lord said to him, Know for certain that your descendants will be strangers in a country not their own, and they will be enslaved and mistreated for 400 years. But I will punish the nation they serve as slaves, and afterwards they will come out with great possessions. You, however, will go to your fathers in peace and be buried at a good old age. I'm going to pause here. 400 years of slavery, and then they get riches. Kind of sounds like what happened in America. 400 years of slavery, and then now they're just getting paid for their words. All they have to do is talk into a microphone, and I'm not saying every black person has become prosperous. I'm just saying it's starting to happen. 400 years of what this book just said, and here comes the rewards. In the fourth generation your descendants will come back here, and for the sin of Amorites has not yet reached its full measure. When the sun set and the darkness had fallen, a smoking firepot with a blazing torch appeared and passed between the pieces. On that day the Lord made a covenant with Abram and said, To your descendants I give this land from the river of Egypt. Sounds like African Americans own America. I mean, history repeats itself. To the great river, the Euphrates, the land of Kenites, Kenizzites, Cadmonites, Hittites, Perizzites, Raphites, Amorites, Canaanites, Gerishites, Jebusites. Those are a bunch of different lakes. So he has a region that is divided by lakes, and his region is in the middle. So God basically told him, even though you're an infertile man, you are going to have babies. Your babies are going to be slaves, and then they're going to be kings. So that's what that story said.